Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking your time out to watching the video and interacting with the video as well. So Galore was scored on the third day of round 6 in the West Indies Championship. So going to be sharing the details with you. There were a few centuries scored, 3 centuries actually, and there were a few half centuries, close centuries scored as well. And then going to be also a few of the matches are shaping up to have a result, right? So going to be sharing where the matches stand currently and what it means for the points table and the leaderboard, as we're coming to the end of the West Indies Championship. So just stick around to the end of the video as we discuss the matches, talk about the brilliant performances and look how the table is shaping up based on how the matches are looking, right? But before I do that, take a few seconds to just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Free and simple ways for you to support the channel, but it goes a far way in helping the channel to grow and also, getting the channel to come up in the YouTube algorithms. So more viewers like you who are cricket lovers can also come across the videos, right? So just take a few seconds to do that. Then we get into the details. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's start with the leaders, right? So the matchup between the Guyana Amazon Warriors and the Leeward Islands, obviously there are title implications in that match, seeing that Guyana are currently leaders, right? Guyana did lose. The Leeward Islands did get first innings points, in that match, having bowled Guyana for 193 and making 335 in their first innings, right? But Guyana in their second innings, they have staged a fight back, right? A valiant fight back, actually, right? So Guyana, they close the day on 381 for 4, right? In their second innings, right? That means they have a lead of 239 runs going into the last day, right? Now, depending on how Guyana wants to play it, I don't know if they think that that's enough runs for them to try and have a bowl at the leewards. More than likely, they'll probably come out and maybe bat, a session tomorrow and get enough runs on the board and then have a bowl at the Leeward Islands, right? But 381 for 4 is where Guyana is right now, staging a valiant fight back, leading the way for them. Like I mentioned earlier, there were 3 centuries on the day. 2 of those centuries came from Guyanese batsmen, right? So we have Kevlan Anderson, coming off the back of his 77 in the first innings. He scored 101 runs, right, in Guyana's 381. So congratulations to him. And also with a century is Tevin Himlach, Mr. Consistent when it comes to Guyana's cricket. He is currently on 103, not out in Guyana's second innings, right? So Guyana are 381 for 4. If this match is shaping up to be a draw, more than likely, unless the Guyanese bowlers are able to bowl out leewards cheaply, or who knows if the leewards are able to chase or whatever. But with 1 day remaining, this will more than likely be a drawn match, right? So Guyana will get points, batting points, of course, for scoring over 380 runs, and obviously points for the drawn match as well, right? So going on now to the other contenders who are Trinidad and Tobago, and they are currently struggling against the Jamaica Scorpions, right? It's looking like Trinidad will lose this match, right? So Jamaica Scorpions in their second innings, they were bowled out for 187, right? Which meant that they have a lead of 300 and I think it's 388 runs lead that they had, right? So Trinidad needed 389 runs to win the match, right? In Jamaica's second innings, there was a half century from Brandon King. He made 89 runs before he got out, and he was the leading run scorer. But it's good to see Brandon King, getting some runs on the board, for the Jamaica team, right? Trinidad and reply, as at the time of this recording, Trinidad are they've already lost 4 wickets, right? So I'll give you the live score for Trinidad right now. Trinidad, they're currently 89 for 4, chasing 389 runs, right? So they need another 300 runs with only 6 wickets in hand, and they have already lost the wickets of Amir Django, Joshua Dasilva, Camille Pooran, and Cephas Cooper. So those are the batsmen that have been already been out for Trinidad. Currently at the crease for them is Jason Mohammed and Kari Pierre, right? So it's definitely looking like Trinidad will lose this match, comprehensively in the end, right? They were bowled out for 171, in reply to Jamaica's 372 in the first innings, and now they're currently struggling at 89 for 4. So from a Guyana standpoint, from a championship standpoint, if Guyana is able to draw this match against the Leeward Islands, right, it does open up a bit of gap between them and Trinidad going into the final round, which will have the showdown between Guyana and Trinidad, right? That's the final round matchup, right? So both teams will have everything to play for in that final round, but Guyana will again. Obviously, there's still a DS player remaining, right? But the way it's looking right now, Guyana will go into that final round match with a bit of a cushion of a lead in terms of points, right? But obviously the match still has to be played, right? So anything is still possible, but Guyana will feel comfortable knowing that they have been able to extend their lead over Trinidad and Tobago going into that final round matchup, right? Once everything goes the way it's looking like it will go. Right. In other matches, you have the Windward Islands going up against the Barbados Pride. The Windward Islands, they were bowled out for 316 in their second innings, right? And that, which means that Barbados needs 305 runs to win. And in the Leeward's innings, Kavem Hodge, he made 99, and it's probably one of the hardest things to deal with in cricket, right? He was run out on 99, right? So he didn't. I mean, getting out on 99 is in itself is gut wrenching. But imagine being run out on 99, right? So unfortunate for Kavem Hodge, he batted well, and it's just unfortunate. I wanted him to get this century, but it's unfortunate that he was run out, right? So he was run out for 99. Also among the runs for the Windward Islands was at Alec Athenias. He made 78, right? But that was in yesterday's play. And also Descartes, he made 50 runs, right? So the Windwards made 316, and Barbados in reply chasing 305. They are currently 144 for 3. Right, so this one is also shaping up. It's in a balanced state, right? The Barbados needing another 161 runs to win. Leeward, the Windwards need to get 7 wickets to pull off the victory, right? Currently at the crease of Barbados is Kyle Myers, who is on 34 not out, and Shane Mosley, who is on 66 not out, right? So the Windwards will need to get some early wickets, make some early inroads into the Barbados batting lineup if they want to win this match. But the match is evenly poised, I would say. 161 runs, and 7 wickets to get. In West Indies cricket, in West Indies Championship, that's evenly poised, right? And then the last match, which is between the combined colleges and campuses and West Indies Academy, we also had a century in that match, right? The century was from Johan Jeremiah. He made 107 in the CCC's innings of 279 for 4. So they are currently 279 for 4, with a lead of 201 runs going into the final day. Johan Jeremiah, making 107 runs, in contributing to that 279 for 4, right? So this match also, it could go either way, right? If the CCC wants to just bat and ensure that they don't lose the match, or if they want to be brave and try and put the West Indies Academy in and try to have a bowl at them and maybe win the match, right? But most of the matches are so apart from the Windwards, Barbados, and the Jamaica Trinidad match, the other 2 matches it's looking like they will more than likely be drawn matches, right? But anything is possible. But it's definitely looking like the Jamaica Scorpions will pull off this victory against Trinidad and Tobago, playing a party spoiler role in some sense, right? And we'll see how the Windwards and Barbados match go. It could go either way, right? But that's all I have for you in this one, just giving you the updates, as it relates to the scores. And the current standing of the matches and what it's looking like going into the final day of play, right? So that's all I have for you in this one for now. But as always, do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comment section. You know, what do you think about Guyana's fight back? What do you think about Trinidad's performance against Jamaica or Jamaica's performance against Trinidad, right? Because going into that match, you know, even me being a Jamaican, you know, I was expecting Trinidad to do a lot better. You know, obviously they have been weakened by losing a few of their players, you know, Jaden Seals, Kevin Anderson, right? But nevertheless, you know, I did expect them to perform better against Jamaica, but such is the nature of cricket, right? You know, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and we see it happen all the time, right? But definitely share your thoughts in the comment section, you know, about the rounds play so far. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.